Hey everybody, my name is Claude.
And I'm Clinton, and we're the Lamest Defenders. On today's episode, we review WandaVision Episode 4, where they pull back the curtain. But should they have? Hiya, Thanos. We're the Lamest Defenders.
I don't even know who you are.
We have a small but dedicated fan base.
Be sure to visit our sponsor at BaskervilleProductions.com. Hi, welcome back. So this episode of WandaVision was called We Interrupt This Broadcast, which was pretty apropos considering what happened this week.
Right.
It was basically all sword stuff, all FBI stuff, all basically everything outside of the bubble. And we're getting the reveal of what's happening outside of Westview, New Jersey. So we start with the infamous snap.
Reverse snap.
The blip, I should say, yeah.
For the Hulk.
Yeah,
where
the reverse blip, yeah.
And Endgame.
And everybody's coming back to life, including Monica Rambeau.
Mm-hmm.
And she's in the hospital, and she's trying to find out where her mom is and everything else. So it was actually, that was my favorite part of this episode.
It was a cool aspect.
The blip coming back and all these people like just appearing on these hospital beds. This is like, what happens if someone was snapped in the plane and they came back? Are they just falling to the earth? Oh God! That's all I could think about. So,
or you're like mid-surgery and you blip out and then you come back and, oh my God!
Yeah, that's. I wouldn't want to. Nah, I'm all right.
I'm good, man. Yeah.
Just leave me as ashes and dust. I don't care. I don't want to deal with this.
It was kind of cool, too, just for the fact that the opening for this episode was just so dire and, like, no pun intended, stark. It's a huge stark difference from, like, the happy-go-lucky, like, era renditions that we have when the episode opens. Yeah. This one was just straight up, it was pretty dark.
Yeah,
so.
no introduction at all. Like, it just goes into the episode, which was kind of jarring. It was actually like you get used to that and like, oh, okay, we're doing this now. So
the one, even though this is a cool opening scene, the one criticism that I have is just Monica Rambeau's reactions to everything. Like hearing the news, like I just thought it was pretty comical. Not to diss on her acting, but it was just like she reminded me of Hillary Clinton from the Democratic National Convention. Like it was just cracking me up. So
I also found it odd that the doctor she was talking to in that opening scene, the doctor said, "Well, she died 2 years after you," and just stops. And then Monica's like, after I what? You disappeared.
Yeah.
Like, that was weird. She also looked like Sally Field from The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I thought it was her for a minute. I was like, wow, are we just crossing universes now?
Multiverses confirmed. So, going with that, Monica basically goes back to her old company, which is SWORD, which is ran by, was helped created by her mom, who is in Captain Marvel, if you don't remember. And basically, SWORD is like, hey, we have a missing persons case. We don't want you up in space because that was your mom's, policy. Like, if you come back from being blipped. So basically, she goes off and she just thinks it's, a crappy mission or whatever. And she ends up meeting Agent Wu from the FBI, who was introduced in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Yeah. So
one of the more enjoyable characters from this universe, too. I really like Agent Wu.
Yeah, he was a highlight for this episode.
He greets her with a card trick he was working on from Ant-Man and the Wasp. So a little continuity there. It's something he learned from Scott Lang. So
yeah. And then, so it's weird because the scene is basically he's talking to these cops about Westview or whatever, and the cops are like, we have no idea what Westview is.
Yeah.
We know what Eastview is. And I guess
one of the cops was from Eastview.
Yeah, so one of the theories, I guess, is just that the cops, like anyone from the area, is basically hypnotized and not thinking it's real or whatever. And I thought it'd be so funny, and it just didn't make sense why he didn't do it. It's just like, listen here, a-hole. Yeah. Like, here's this bubble right in front of you. Like, why can't you just walk him to it and show him that? Like, that was just like, and the cops were just, it was kind of weird. So
yeah, it was just kind of silly to see a whole exit 2 for Westview and everything else. Like they clearly are showing this, like, well, this is a real place, but they don't know that it is.
Maybe the cops, when they see that big sign that says Eastview, who knows what's going on. But I also liked in this scene too, they keep sending drones to the bubble.
Yeah.
And can you imagine being one of these hypnotized people in the bubble? It's just raining like Stark drones, because it gets transformed into like a drone, like a colored drone or whatever, so it looks like a helicopter.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my God, what the hell is that?
It's like an advanced helicopter, and then it's not so much an advanced helicopter.
Yeah, because everything gets transformed to whatever era Scarlet Witch is projecting. So that's kind of neat.
So Darcy's back.
For better or for worse.
Darcy from Thor: The Dark World. Thor. Yeah. She was a political science major in Thor. Now she has a PhD in astrophysics.
Yeah.
That's a leap.
Yeah.
That is a leap. And now she's just regurgitating all this technobabble that, like, you don't know what that is.
Yeah, it was just like it reminded me of like a really crappy episode of CSI, because there's a lot of police jargon too, where it's just like thrown at you, and it's just, you know, oh, the wing dinger alert is going off. Oh no, not this again. must be another Tuesday. Eh? There's a lot of the lingo in this where it's just like, it's really cringy, you know.
Yeah, and I guess that's kind of the problem with this episode, is that nothing really happened.
Yeah.
At the end, we go through the whole ordeal with even the parts that were left out, where Wanda threw out Monica, and we see that Monica says, like, looks just dead down the camera lens, goes, "It's Wanda. It's all Wanda." It's like, yeah, we know. We just saw the scene. Like, thanks for the subtlety, Marvel. I get it. Like, we're not
really
all
hammers
stupid.
on the point. Yeah.
Just, like, calm down. That bothered me a great deal. But it was just like, again, this should have been clips. This episode should have been clips spliced into other episodes. I don't feel like we needed a whole episode devoted to Sword. I just think it was a wasted opportunity.
In, I guess, Marvel's defense, they might say that the reason it's like this entire episode is just a Monica Rambeau and Sword origin story.
Sure.
But at the same time, I agree with you. They could have just spliced that into a few other episodes.
I mean, they could have made the episodes 40, 45 minutes long, spliced this in.
Yeah.
The big reveal was at the very end with Wanda controlling a Weekend at Bernie's like Vision. I mean, he's just grayed out, got a big hole in his head. It's honestly comical.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kind of
yeah.
Okay. But that was, so he's dead. I don't know how she's controlling him. Like, this is really bizarre, because he can't even move without, he's not even activated without the stone. Like, that was how he was activated in Ultron.
Well, plus, like, with her getting pregnant, because in the comics, it's not actually Vision that knocks her up. It's basically Wanda summons children into her womb.
Which makes sense.
So,
it's kind of comic accurate.
Yeah, so maybe since she can create life, maybe she creates Vision back, or, you know, who knows?
Yeah,
so.
We'll see. I don't know. Kind of an okay episode. I think like 6 or 7. Like, it wasn't great. I don't know. It took us out of what was going on. I felt this was a lot of superfluous stuff that we already knew.
Yeah.
Especially the whole "it's all Wanda."
Yeah.
Yeah. We know that. We did guess that, though, so I'm proud of us for that. We got that right.
Yeah.
But
I still think there's like some sort of villain like pulling the strings at some. Like, I think there's still going to be an introduction to someone messing with her. That's my theory. So I just don't think.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that would be who though. I mean, that could be kind of interesting. I don't know.
There's all these rumors about Mephisto,
Grim
but
Reaper?
I seriously, Grim Reaper could be it. Honestly,
people
like,
saw his helmet in one of the animated intros and lost their minds. Like, oh, it's Grim Reaper. Like, you think Marvel's just gonna do that? Like, what's he gonna show up at her house? Like, oh, forgot my helmet.
Excuse me. Yeah. I don't know. I agree with you. I actually was pretty hyped about this episode, because you read on Reddit and they're just saying how awesome it's going to be. Some of these like leakers saying, like, oh, there's going to be some really crazy stuff this episode, and then you watch it and you're like, that was okay.
Yeah,
like,
it was okay. I like the Jimmy Woo stuff.
Yeah.
Even Monica Rambeau, she's a good character.
Yeah.
I like her too. It's just, do we need a whole episode of this? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. Nothing. It didn't get the ball rolling. It answered maybe like 2 questions, and it doesn't even answer them. So I would say I'd give this probably like a 6.8 out of 10.
I'll be a little harsher. I'm gonna say 6.
Okay.
Not its best, but hopefully now that this is done, it can just move on.
Yeah.
So, because I mean, we have the 80s next week, so see where that goes.
Yep, and stay tuned for next week's review for the next episode, and we'll catch you guys soon.
Thanks so much. Stay lame.
Bye!